I went to school at University of Oklahoma, and I wrestled there. So we're raised not to like Iowa, just because of
Oh,
wrestling. That's how it goes.
well, my wrestling coach is from Oklahoma.
Who's that?
Ryan Freeman.
Oh yeah. I know who he is. Yeah. Well, I know of
Yeah,
him. We haven't sat down and had any beer or anything together, but I know who he is for sure.
right.
Wow.
He's a good guy. So then he got to kind of like me from
Just a little bit, yeah. Just from that set.
5 degrees separation.
Exactly. I have no choice now. See, I like how you work. It's Rodich, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2. You're watching MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, it is Easter Sunday. Yes, I am working a full day on Easter Sunday. Most of the interviews you'll watch this week are from Easter Sunday because it's the only day that most fighters that fight the week of have time off. Sundays traditionally are your rest day. Cassie, is this a rest day for you normally too?
Actually, the weekends are my hardest days. A
Oh.
lot of people around here work full time, so on the weekends we have to go extra hard.
Are you still working full time?
Actually, just for this camp, I was able to quit my job and give it this full 6 weeks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was pretty exciting.
That's a huge step for people. Most people at home, they don't realize that they think that once you jump into being a professional fighter, it's like being a professional baseball player, a professional football player, where once you say you're a pro, that's all you do is a pro. In pro fighting, especially at the women's division, which hasn't quite caught up money-wise to the men's, or amount of competition for them as it has for the men's, that a lot of the women still have to work. They still have to take care of their families, still have to do other jobs, and so congratulations to be able to quit and do just fighting full time. You're
Yeah, thank you.
4-3, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're fighting Simona Sokopova.
Yes.
Wow, I got it right.
Say it really, really fast.
Sokopova. yeah, her. She's 3-2. Let's break it down now. Let's listen. A lot of the fans at home that watch MMA Oddsbreaker have not seen women fighting in general. Most of them are brand new to MMA as a whole. So let's break down your opponent first. Let's give us what you see from the tape. Simona's style is.
I think it's very aggressive. She comes forward a lot. She doesn't back up. She doesn't really want to give her space. But I haven't really seen her fight wrestlers before. So she's had a lot of strikers, and she comes forward, and that's great for stand-up matches. I don't know how well that will be for her when she goes up against someone who wants to go to the ground.
Now explain your style, Cassie, to everyone at home that's never seen you fight before.
Well, I kind of let the fight dictate because I started in Muay Thai, so I love to stand and bang, but I've really focused the last 3 years on my ground, and I've had a lot of success there. So I feel like if I like where the fight's going stand up, I can stay there, but I have no issues with going to the ground.
Who are your coaches right now in all your disciplines?
I'm down at Des Moines Jiu-Jitsu, so I have Donovan Cabanari, he's my Muay Thai. I have Ryan Freeman out of Oklahoma, he's my wrestling coach. And I have some really awesome just jiu-jitsu guys too.
Now you get ready to fight in Invicta 5 in Kansas City, Missouri at the Emerald Star Casino.
Yes.
It's not too far away from Iowa. It's not like you're going all the way across the country or flying like for a lot of the guys who are fighting this next weekend in the UFC, they're flying all the way to Sweden. There's a huge amount of jet lag and what have you. But with you, it's still going to be traveling is traveling. Going away from your hometown is going away from your hometown. What's it like for you to travel? And how does that affect your fighting, do you think?
Because it's so close, it's not so hard. I mean, it just kind of feels like a little vacation because I have children, so I get 3 days without kids
Oh,
before
okay.
my fight. So it's actually like I get a lot of downtime and just alone time. So it kind of works out great for me.
How old are your kids?
5 and 8.
And boy, girl, or
2 girls.
2 girls? What do they think about mom fighting? Like, would they come to practice with you and watch, or you keep them separated?
Yeah, they come to practice a lot. They don't watch my fights. They've never been to a fight. But they do come to practice, so they see all the hard work that goes into it, and they see all the time and the commitment and all the teamwork that goes into it. They aren't quite old enough to get any of the actual fighting experience yet.
Well, if they, like every parent, I'm a parent too. Your kids come to you and go, look, I want to train in this thing. You got to let them train in that thing because that's what they want to train in. Do you already encourage your girls to try to take jiu-jitsu or take some, stand-up boxing classes, no contact?
Yeah, they both do gi jiu-jitsu right now, and they love it, and it burns their energy, and if it's something that they ever want to go with, then that's great, but if not, it's just teaching them responsibility and hard work, so it's just like any other martial arts.
Are you from Des Moines originally?
I'm actually Texas.
Oh, we're in Texas.
Amarillo.
Okay, yeah, I know.
European.
Why Des Moines, Iowa from Amarillo, though?
My parents moved
Okay.
me up here about like senior in high school, so I've been here since then.
You just stayed put after?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's a great place to it's kind of mellow. You know, there's no drama. It's great if you do have kids. You know, you can have a good lifestyle here and still be comfortable. You know, it's not hectic. It's not like Vegas where you have to live up with the Joneses and be out partying. You know, I can train and live my life and have my kids and do kind of everything here.
Well, I don't go out and party much. I live in Vegas. I don't go out much, and that's one of the things that kind of keeps me sane. Is that I don't try to chase that game like everybody else does, where they're always out all the time trying to do whatever. I'm like, nah, I'll stay in tonight. I'll see you guys next week, kind of thing.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough, especially when you have kids, to not be drawn to that kind of lifestyle, especially when you're trying to train and get ready for a fight. If for people at home that don't really know, you know, your overall background, what brought you into MMA, and why did you choose MMA as a profession?
It's kind of lame, but I was just overweight when I had my kids, so I did like a cardio kickboxing class. My coach at the time was actually a really awesome Muay Thai fighter. He's like, hey, why don't you come down and like really hit pads with these guys? And I loved it. I was always kicking and hitting. I was staying after class, and I just kind of fell in love with it. And then, you know, once I got in the ring and kind of got those butterflies, like I'm really drawn to that, just constantly seeing what I can do if I can improve myself. So as soon as I got my first amateur fight, I was hooked.
How many amateur fights did you have?
Well, I'm not quite for sure because Iowa wasn't sanctioned when I was an amateur fighter. And we'd go up every Wednesday to like a local bar.
Oh, wow.
And they have a ring erected in the middle of the bar, and you would just go up, and whoever was there, you'd fight once, twice a night, and then it'd be like audience approval. It was kind of crazy. So I fought like 6 months for once a week, but it wasn't. I mean, sometimes there was hair pulling, and you know, it was just craziness.
Oh yeah, I got you.
That's how the Iowa fighters started, like Josh Neer, Jeremy Stevens. We all kind of started in those bars.
That sounds like Monty Cox. Monty Cox used to throw stuff like that, and it wasn't Monty Cox's stuff. Was it his promotion?
It wasn't, but it's the same type of stuff.
Yeah, it's Monty won't leave Iowa because Extreme Challenge has been up there, and he made some great champs out of there. You know, he had Matt Hughes and Tim Sylvia and Jens Pulver back when Militich Fighting Systems ran the gamut. They were all coming through Monty Cox's promotions to do that, and
exactly.
And it's kind of Iowa's kind of got kind of the quiet, you know, keystone in all of MMA fighting, where a lot of the guys in the very, very beginning were coming out of there and taking over. Do you have that? Do you feel that when you go train, when you go fight, that, you know, there is some nostalgia here, there is some history in my state, and that this is something that we started this thing? You know, everyone wants to say that Gracie started it, but they started out in Brazil. Like in America, the first main spot was in Iowa. You know, that everyone really talked about. Do you kind of feel that when you go fight, when you train?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody here, from, you know, the little kid wrestlers, they all kind of came up with this, you know, just this really hard work ethic. You really can't replace that, which you get in these small towns, where people are just constantly pushing. We're just constantly trying to better ourselves, to grab at something. We're trying to improve, so that level of competition around here is pretty tough.
What's your job that you quit? What was the job that you quit to go full-time?
Actually, I ran an in-home daycare.
Oh, really?
So kids, yeah, I'd have anywhere from 6 to 8 kids that I was dropping off at preschools, watching, you know, here at the house.
Jeez,
I did
wow.
that for 9 years while I was training.
Now, how did you get up early before you start dropping the kids off to get your first session in, and go again when they pick them up?
Yeah, I mean, I'd start my first session would be at 4:30 in the morning. I'd start work at 7, get off at 5, and then head to the gym between 6 to 8 or 6 to 9.
Come home, eat dinner, put your kids down, and do it again. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's a tough life. That is, yeah. I mean, those are farmers' hours.
That's commitment, yeah.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, you really have to love the sport to put that kind of energy into
Yeah,
it.
you're not just showing up, half-assing it every day. That's a real commitment. So when you go, you're trying to get the most out of that practice you can every single time.
Well, yeah, you not only get like maybe an hour and a half in the morning and then 2-3 hours at night, and you can't like sit around and chit chat about the weather and talk about how work was. You wrapped up and you were on the mats right away.
Wow, geez, what was it of the majors? What was the toughest part of MMA for you to learn? Was it the kickboxing? Was it the wrestling? Was it jiu-jitsu? Like, what is the toughest part for you to pick up?
I think jiu-jitsu was the toughest for me, mostly because around here I have a lot of wrestlers, so they have a lot of really good hips, and I was always the smallest, so you kind of have to learn to combat that and use my strength, or use like technique versus their strength. And they've been doing it since they were 5, so when they wanted to take me down, I got pretty good off my back pretty quick.
Cool. All right, well, I know it's Easter Sunday, so I'm going to let you go so you can get back to your family. Cassie, I really appreciate you coming on here, and good luck next week against Simona. She's fighting in Invicta 5 down in Kansas City, Missouri. You better catch it on Ustream, and the Ustream president promised that it won't crash this time, no matter how...